Hi, students. This is Kimberly Rayla, and I just wanted to introduce myself in person so you could see a live teacher. Just wanted to also take this time to tell you that I'm very pleased to be teaching at Geisenheim, as I find the students to be very grounded, very conscious about the world and our planet Earth. And when I've taught before at the other Hochschules, I've taught a lot of BVL. And I do see a big difference in the students and the attitudes and the view on the world and the view on our planet Earth. So I'm very happy to have students like yourselves. I also just wanted to be able to tell you some things in person, like business communication in the real world does not have to be perfect, and it usually is not perfect. When you have a person in France who's communicating to somebody in Japan, or let's say somebody from Ecuador trying to communicate with somebody in China, the English is never going to be perfect. The point is that you can communicate effectively. That is the goal for everybody out in the real world. My job here is to fine tune you, to try to make your English less Dinglish, to make your vocabulary more enriched and deeper, and to hopefully get you to use more landscape architecture vocabulary in English. So remember, you do not have to speak perfectly. For the course, as your teacher, I have to point out when you are making mistakes. That is my job. Another reminder, the presentation is due, or the topic is due next week. It can be, as I've told you, on the project that you've done for a course that I think it was last semester in German. You can do that for me in English if you like, or you can choose a completely new topic. Most of my students, I would say it's 50-50 actually. 50% chose their landscape project that they did, and they did it in English, and the other half chose completely different topics. I will leave that up to you. There are 2 courses on Monday, and if we do indeed meet there live in person, you can come to either course. It doesn't matter to me. What I have found is in the past, many students had excursions. The school Geisenheim arranges excursions, and very often a student or students couldn't come to the one class, but they were able to come to the other class, and so that will always be an option for you, and that goes also for your presentation date. Whichever time you prefer to do it is okay with me. But what I would like from you in the next 4 weeks, next week, I would like for you to also give me the date that you prefer to give your presentation. We do them normally, or I do them normally, the last 4 weeks of the course, which is in June. So give me a date that you prefer. We can do up to 5 in one day. So please go ahead, give me your topic for next week and the date that you prefer to give your presentation. If for some reason we are not meeting in person, then I feel I will have to request a video from you via USB stick, or I'm not sure yet. I'm going to keep my fingers crossed that we will meet in person in June. Okay, presentation is 70% of the grade. So today I'm sending you a link on a video for closings and openings. They are the 2 most important parts of your presentation. The introduction is what catches the attention, Very often you can start your introduction with a question that makes your audience think, but it should not be my name is and my presentation is. I need something a lot more creative than that. You're landscape architects and you are supposed to be creative. So I'm looking for creative presentations. The closing should somehow refer back to the beginning, to the introduction. It should not, you should never say, this is the closing, this is the end of my presentation, thank you. I need for you to summarize, and I need for you to refer back to the original point in your introduction. So it all needs to be interconnected. Today, I will also request that you write an opening and closing for me. And you can time it yourself to see how long it is. You're not going to be sending me a video because normally we would do this in the lesson. But please write it out for me, what you would say. The topic can be on anything. It can be on landscape architecture, or it can be on Apple products. It can be anything that you like. I don't want it, though, to be on the presentation that you're going to do for me at the end. I want this to be a completely different introduction to a different topic. Okay, and the business report is 30% of the grade. Today I'm also going to attach a document to StudIP on what I want in that report, and I also would like to have a minimum of 2 sources, and I would like it cited with APA. I think that you guys should know that by now. I feel you've probably done reports, essays in the past, and but I will send a link as well on that, on how to cite APA style. Okay, next. In your essays, you've written, very often I see the words imagination and wish, and those are really not business vocabulary words. I prefer that you use words like requirements, needs, demands, preferences, originality. Use other words. When you're looking for a word that you can't find, go to an English thesaurus, and that will help you out a lot. When I wrote all my papers for my master's and my final thesis, I constantly use the thesaurus to make my papers sound more interesting with a deeper and richer vocabulary. Instead of using also and so and but, I've also put other words here that you should try to use. A paper that's written properly and a good paper does not always use also 4, 5, 6 times in the paper, or but, or so. You have to, we say, well, you have to mix it up. You've got to make it more interesting for the reader. Okay, so also commas. That seems to be a problem always because German and English have different rules. I'm also going to attach a document on commas and how to use them. In the real world, it's not going to really matter that much if you know how to use a comma, but this is an English course and you have to write a business report for me. So in that case, in that respect, you should have your proper comma usage. All right, so the assignments for this week, there are 2. The one that I just mentioned before is writing an opening and a closing for a presentation. Again, I'm going to put all of this on StudIP, the links that you need, the documents that I'm talking about. I'm going to upload all of that. There's a TED Talk that I want you to look at, and a very interesting TED Talk. I want you to watch that, and then I want you to write for me what you thought about this project. Do you think it really is effective? Is it sustainable? I want you to write a minimum of half a page on that for me. that is really it. That's all I've got for today. I just want to remind you that if you have any questions, please feel free to write at any time. And you can also call. If you need a phone call with me, let me know and we can talk in person. Okay, so have a great Sunday, and I'll be looking forward to receiving the rest of your assignments. Thank you. Bye.